Hello friends, today I'm going to tell you about a 2018 Chinese film called Island of Women. A long-standing legend says that somewhere in the South Pacific Ocean there is an island where only women live. People call it Virgin Island and around it constantly. If you believe the rumors, they say that its inhabitants own a mysterious seed, thanks to which they age 10 times slower. Many tried to find the island, but all died without even discovering the mysterious place. Many people only dream of getting closer to the solution, and one of these people is the influential Mr. Sun, who is delirious with the idea of obtaining the seed of immortality. Mr. Sun sent dozens of expeditions, but none of them were successful. Wang hears on the radio that Mr. Sun is sending another group to search for the island. For the guy, all these legends about a mysterious place are not just beautiful fairy tales. His father, Mr. Li, was the only one who managed to find the island, from where he never returned, without even leaving behind a word that opens the veil of mystery. The only thing Wang heard was rumors that his father was hypnotized by the women of this island and stayed with them forever. Wang decides to contact Sun to ask to be included in the expedition. He hopes to find his father, or at least something that will help him understand what happened. Arriving at the port, the guy meets his friend Yun Wu, who served in the army and has some experience. Yun Wu decides to go on an adventure with a friend, and both guys board the ship. The mercenary Suna gives the travelers a GPS tracker so that they can signal if they find the right point, and so that they can be found in case of disappearance. At first, the guys have fun on the ship, intoxicated by the thirst for adventure, but after 2 months of empty wandering around the ocean, their mood changes. Food supplies are coming to an end, the navigator turned out to be faulty, and not the ability to work with the nautical chart led to the fact that the guys generally began to lose hope of getting out of water captivity. One day, Van lay down right on the deck, turning his face to the sun and thinking about his fate. As he felt a fetid drop on his face, opening his eyes, he saw flocks of seagulls circling over the ship, which meant that the Earth was somewhere nearby. Looking through binoculars, Van realizes that this is not just the shore, but the very island they were looking for. The happy guys are preparing to disembark, but the high waves do not allow them to approach directly to the ground and they have to leave the ship and swim to the shore themselves. Van opens his eyes and sees a crowd of armed women around him. The guy tries to talk to them, but they do not answer the guest, silently watching him and his friend. Yun Wu feels better than his friend and tries to talk to women using his charm, but this does not have the expected effect on them. On the contrary, they perceive the noisy guy as a threat and, having tied up the guys, they are brought to the village, where they are locked in a wooden cage. The patriarch, the leader of the female tribe, approaches the captives. She says that she is very surprised. For 500 years only a few have sailed to the island and they were all seasoned and experienced sailors. No one expected to see 2 young people on the shore. Yun does not believe that beauties live 500 years, but women do not answer these questions, silently leaving prisoners in a cage. When the women leave, Wang pulls out a hidden knife and plans to escape, but a friend persuades him to wait until dark. Night falls, and the guys really get out of the cage, but instead of escaping together, the guys split up. Yun goes in search of an exit from the island, and Wang returns to the tribe to find evidence of their existence. Yun immediately falls into the traps of the Amazons and ends up in a pit, while Wang climbs into Moon's hut and hides behind a curtain. Watching a girl getting ready to take a bath. Unfortunately, the guy can't go unnoticed. Little sister Moon notices him and raises a shout, gathering all the women of the tribe. The guy is brought to the patriarch, and she reads out the verdict to the uninvited guest, and according to their custom, if a man saw one of the girls without clothes, the curse can only be washed away by the extermination of the insolent. A wounded Yun Wu enters the hut, who came to save a friend. The guy again tries to use charm, and at the same time brag about his military experience, but this only irritates the women. All the members of the tribe demand execution for uninvited guests, but before destroying them, the patriarch wants to know why they arrived. Wang talks about his father. The patriarch of the tribe admits that he remembers this man and she is also not averse to finding him, and if she succeeds, he will suffer the same fate as his son. The patriarch gives the order to take the prisoners to the sacred tree and roast them on a ritual bonfire. No one pays attention to the pleas of men. Moon enters the room that Wang was watching, and, approaching the guy, pretends that she is ready to put an end to his suffering, but in fact she cuts the ropes. The girl admits that she still hates the stranger, but does not want him to die because of her. Despite all their efforts, the guys can't leave again and fall into traps set in the forest. In the morning they find themselves tied to a tree again. The guys are going to be fried, but the ritual stops when they report that one of the girls of the tribe is drowning in the ocean. All the women run ashore hoping to help their sister, and the guys have a chance again. The friends manage to escape, and they run to the shore from which they plan to leave the island, but Van stops and tells his friend that he must save the drowning girl. Wang pulls the girl out of the water to the shore, and Yun gives her artificial respiration, thanks to which they manage to save the girl. The guys are brought to the patriarch's hut, but this time they are not tied up. The sinking Xinhua girl asks the head of the tribe to save the lives of the guys for saving her. In addition, the girl begins to fall in love with Yun Wu. The patriarch seems ready to melt and forgive the guests, but then she is informed that they burned the sacred tree during their escape. The elder again orders the strangers to be executed, but Moon and Xinhua beg to give the guys one last chance, taking full responsibility. The patriarch agrees to give the men a chance, but on condition that they revive the tree in 3 months. If this does not happen, they will be executed. The guys clean off all the charcoal and put drippers on, hoping to spill it from the inside and revive it, but in addition they begin to join the life of the village and with the help of modern devices catch huge fish and teach girls gardening. The guests become full members of the tribe, and the tribe begins to trust them. Xinhua continues to attract the attention of Yun, gifting him with flowers and gifts. Van tries to catch the GPS signal and at that moment sees a viper crawling next to Moon. The guy rushes to save the girl, and they find themselves very close to each other. However, it turns out that this was not necessary, since the viper is Moon's favorite snake. The sacred tree sprouts, and the tribe arranges a celebration on this occasion with dances and local rituals. Looking at how Mun is spinning in the dance, Wang reflects on the meaning of life and that what matters is not how long a person has lived, but how he did it. The guy thinks that he would be ready to protect the girl even at the cost of his life. The guy invites Mun for a walk and she tells him the story of a tribe that descended from a tribe of witches. The patriarch was the child of a witch. She alone managed to survive during the hunt of civilized people, and she escaped and took with her a mystical seed. This helped them to reproduce and preserve their youth for many centuries. In the morning, Moon takes Wang to the place where she last saw his father, and the guy finds a diary there in which he described his life. Here in the diary it is written that the man was received with kindness and therefore he did not return and did not report this place, knowing that trouble would happen in the tribe. After reading his father's words, he realizes that he must destroy the lighthouse, otherwise Mr. Sun's team will be here soon. The guys break the device, but it keeps flashing, showing that the signal is still being transmitted. The guys resort to the patriarch and tell her that Mr. Sun will be here soon with his mercenaries. They advise the elder to take the women and leave the island, but the women have other plans for this. After waiting for the guests, the women treat them to strong drinks and take them prisoner. Since the scouts have disappeared, Mr. Sun himself goes down to the shore and is met by Wang and Yun, who try to convince the boss that they just got lost and this is not the island. Sun realizes that the guys are lying to him and orders the mercenaries to tie up all the women and 2 guys who decided to betray him. Sun leads the patriarch to the place where the seed is hidden, blackmailing the lives of girls and new friends. The girls in the jungle manage to defeat the mercenaries. Sun put a bomb vest on Van, threatening to blow him up if something goes wrong, and the guy realizes that everyone else will suffer with him. Van leads his former boss to the shore, hoping to distract him from the showdown in the jungle. But the women themselves run out of the jungle to help Van. During the scuffle, Sun accidentally presses the button, and there are 30 seconds left before the explosion. Van understands what he has to do to save the great tribe and his friend, and he runs into the water away from people, overcoming the waves. He remembers his life in the tribe and the time spent with Mun. An explosion is heard, and the girls on the shore mourn the guest who saved their lives at the cost of his. Mun and Yun cry the loudest after the loss of a person dear to both of them. Van opens his eyes, lying on the rocks, and it seems to him that the island has given him a chance to start his life here again. This is the end of the movie, friends, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Good luck to everyone.